Good evening. This is the April Hammonton Board of Education meeting. Due to the executive order by Governor Murphy, we will be conducting our meetings virtually until further notice. In order to provide the opportunity for the public to view and participate in our meetings, we are live streaming on our district YouTube channel. This link is provided on our district website. For public comment, a phone number is provided for anyone wishing to inquire about agenda items. Comments will be accepted only during the public comment portion of our meetings using the phone number 609-567-7053. This number is also listed next to the live streaming link on our website. The board agenda can be found on our district website under the Board of Education tab. And now I will turn our meeting over to Mr. Mento, our board president.
Our first ever Zoom Board of Education meeting here for our April regular meeting, along with our budget hearing meeting as well. I'll now read the open public meeting statement. The New Jersey Open Public Meetings Law was enacted to ensure the right of the public to have advance notice of and to attend any meetings of public bodies at which their interests may be discussed or acted upon. In accordance with this, in accordance with the provisions of this act, the Hammonton Board of Education has caused notice of this meeting to be published by having the date, time, purpose, and place therefore published in the Press of Atlantic City on April 17, 2020, and mailed to the Hammonton Gazette and posted on authorized premises. Roll call, please.
Mr. Attanassi?
Here.
Mrs. Bernardo?
Here.
Mrs. Burns?
Here.
Mrs. Fallon?
Here.
Mr. Lyons?
Here.
Mr. Pangia?
Here.
Mrs. Polito?
Here.
Mr. Palea?
Here.
Mr. Scipione?
Here.
Mr. Thomas?
Here.
Mr. Mento?
Here. Okay. Let us now rise for the flag salute. I pledge allegiance
To the flag
of the
of the
United States of America and to the republic
for which it stands,
one nation, under God,
God,
indivisible, with liberty and justice
for all.
We were a little offbeat on that one.
The flag just appeared.
Yeah,
That was amazing.
yeah, it was. Okay, before we go into the 2021 budget presentation presented by Ms. Gecko, our superintendent, I'm going to read in resolution number 1 into the record, and it is a lengthy resolution. And during this time, for people who are at home, or those of you viewers who care to call in, we will have a call in and give a message to our assistant superintendent, Tammy Leonard, who will relay the message to Barbara Prettyman, and then she can read that into the meeting. So here we go. Resolved by the Hammonton Board of Education, approved to increase the previously advertised 2021 Hammonton Public School budget to specifically identify the security required, maintenances, and capital needs of the district in the following sums. Revenues. Budget fund balance, operating balance, $2,700,000. Withdrawal from capital reserve for local share, $2,200,000. Withdrawal from maintenance reserve, $1 million. Withdrawal from current expense emergency reserve, $320,000. Total revenue increase, $6,220,000. Appropriations, required maintenance, cleaning, repair, and service undistributed expenditures, $1,400,000. Care, upkeep of grounds, turf field equipment, new security equipment, security cameras, $200,000 and $1 million respectively. Facilities acquisition and construction services, $3,620,000, and total appropriation increase again is $6,220,000. I'll now turn it over to Ms. Gecko to give us a PowerPoint on the 2021 budget.
Thank you, Mr. Mento. Throughout my presentation, the phone number to participate with public comment is posted. You may call at this time for any questions or comments related to the 2020-2021 budget only. There will be 2 other opportunities for public comment related to other school matters later in our meeting. As Mr. Mento stated, all the information related to the upcoming school year will not require an increase in taxes. We will continue to operate with the needs of the taxpayers in mind. Our total budget for the upcoming school year is $62,998,529. The total tax levy is $19,717,695. Our state aid is $23,955,381. Once again, our largest expenditure remains salaries at $1,361,578 and benefits of $495,209. We still remain underfunded by the state of New Jersey in an amount close to $11 million. To put this in perspective, the cost per pupil state average for the 2018-2019 school year was $16,599. Our cost per pupil for the 2020-2021 school year is $13,128, over $3,000 less than the state average 2 years ago. If we receive the total amount of aid owed to us, we could increase our cost per pupil by over $3,000. Hammonton still remains one of the lowest cost per pupil districts in the state, while still providing an exceptional education for our students. Contained within our budget are several new additions. We will be instituting new courses in the high school in the areas of AP and Honors Computer Science. In addition, we have joined the Carpenters Union to provide apprenticeship opportunities with students enrolled in CP Materials Processing 3. We are also expanding our dual enrollment opportunities. Our high school students will have the ability to earn college credits with Atlantic County and Camden County Community Colleges for high school courses in digital cinema, technical, and structural design. We are also waiting for final approval by Rowan for numerous courses in our technical, fine, and performing arts. This is a tremendous saving for our students wishing to continue their education at 2- and 4-year colleges. Throughout the districts, we will be upgrading digital security cameras and purchasing Chromebooks to enable one-to-one capabilities for our students. Last year, we were fortunate to purchase a new reading program for grades K-4. Next year, we will be purchasing new textbook series in the areas of middle school science, middle school math, and Algebra 1. The Fusion Science series will focus on scientific literacy, hands-on activities, STEM, and technology. The math series Envision includes problem-based learning, virtual tutorials, individual learning pathways, adaptive assignments, and math modeling in 3-act lessons. The articulation between grades 6 through 9 will greatly enhance our math curriculum. All of our new series will include online as well as paper materials to enhance the learning process. There are also several large expenditures for the upcoming year as we try to maintain our existing facilities. Building maintenance, projects, roof repairs, replacement and repair of equipment will need to be completed along with replacement of retired school buses. I would just like to thank the Board of Education for their continued leadership and governance in all areas related to the district. I would also like to thank the Hammonton community for their support of our schools. At this time, I will turn it back over to Mr. Mento. Mr. Mento, hold on 1 second, please. Go ahead.
Am I muted?
Now you're fine. Go ahead.
Okay, you can hear it. Did you hear anything or was it off the whole time? No?
Start over.
Again, thank you, Ms. Kieko, for that very insightful presentation there. I just wanted to quickly reiterate, Hammonton School District, once again, is very near to the bottom when you're talking about cost per pupil. That's something that I know for years we're very, very proud of. And although we are very low when you're talking about spending per pupil, we continue to give our students the first-class education that they deserve for a rate that our taxpayers can afford. So that is a good thing. And that all starts at the top with our superintendent, Ms. Giecko, and in particular, our business administrator, Ms. Prinneman. I want to thank her for being very creative and her insight and thoughtfulness while creating this budget. As you can see, this budget is different from what we first introduced, but not going into all the specifics or the details. I did read them already. You'll see that there will be a difference on how we're utilizing our reserves. And I think when you look into it, you will see, and history will write, that this was a very proactive board. And we did everything we could to ensure our students would get the first class education they deserve without losing or getting anything taken away from us, or a punishment, so to speak, for our frugalness in the past. So we're going to protect everything we've worked so hard for here at the Hammonton School District. And it's our hope to continue this very good trend of being near the bottom per spending, but closer to the top per results in education. With that, I would go back to Ms. Prinneman. Have you received any questions on the budget from the public, Ms. Prinneman?
No, we haven't received any questions yet. Again, as Mrs. Giecko mentioned, the number is 609-567-7053. This is the public hearing on the 2021 budget. Anyone from the public that has a question or would like to speak, please call that number now.
Okay. And while we're giving the public some time to call in, what we're going to do is we will take items 1 through 4 on the agenda as a whole. So I will read items 2, 3, and 4, giving the public some time to call in. And then if there is no other comment from the public or board members, we will entertain a motion. Okay, number 2, resolved by the Hammonton Board of Education, approved to adopt the 2021 Hammonton Public School District budget as required by the New Jersey Department of Education process in the following sums. General Fund, $58,202,980. Special revenues, $2,465,717. Debt service, $2,329,832. Total budget, $62,998,529. It's a big number. Item resolution number 3, resolved by the Hammonton Board of Education, acknowledges that the 2021 school district budget represents a general fund levy of $18,086,685, debt service $1,631,010, total tax levy $19,717,695. So of this proposed $62 million budget, what you'll see here is 19 million of that is based off the local tax payers. So not bad when you're talking about a third of the cost here coming from the local and the rest coming from other sources and state funding. Item number 4, resolved that the Hammonton Board of Education approve the requisition for taxes for the year 2021 as per attached item A. I will entertain a motion in a second, and then we'll have discussion and include anybody from the public if there is anyone who has called in. Is there a motion, please?
Motion.
Was that by Mrs. Burns?
Yes.
Yes. Is there a second?
Second.
I think that's Mrs. Bernata, but she's on mute. Okay. Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, seconded by Mr. Antonassi. Thank you for that. Ms. Prinneman, could you update us on any comments or questions from the public?
Questions? There are no questions.
No questions. Seeing there is none from the public, I would now turn it over to board members. I would particularly turn it over to our finance chair, Mrs. Bernardo, if you care to give us a quick, update or express your thoughts on this budget.
Okay, I think that Ms. Giecko has very appropriately outlined a lot of the items that were in our budget. in this particular budget, especially the new textbooks, the Chromebooks. A lot of the items for finance, as you will start on page 5 of your agenda, have to do with just maintenance and maintaining what we have, adding new things. We need to replace the drapery at the middle school. We have the bond, looking into our bonds. So we have to renew our board policy manual. So that's on our finance. We have conference room, roof unit replacement, with HVAC equipment. We have the security system at the ECEC, the installation of the equipment located there. Plumbing, we have a mixing valve that needs to be put in. She mentioned the buses. We have to be very diligent because this is a very trying year and we are uncertain of their state aid. And I'm talking about next year, and who knows what's to come. We need to keep our monies intact and use our money wisely in our district. We have no idea what's going to happen next year with the financial situation of the state of New Jersey. So I think that we are being very diligent. We are using our money wisely, and we will continue to do so. And I think that in this trying time, the people of Hammonton should be happy with what we have done with our budget. And that's all I have.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Bernardo. Again, I'll get to all the board members to give a committee report. If you guys don't have anything else to comment specifically on the budget, I will ask for a roll call. Any other comments on the budget? Seeing none, Ms. Prettyman, roll call, please.
Mr. Attanassi,
Yes.
Mrs. Bernardo,
Yes.
Mrs. Burns,
Yes.
Mrs. Fallon,
Yes.
Mr. Lyons,
Yes.
Mr. Pangia.
He's absent.
No, he's here.
He was here.
No, he's here.
Oh, is he here?
Yes.
Yeah,
Thank you.
good.
Mr. Polito, I'm sorry, Mrs. Polito,
Yes.
Mr. Palea,
Yes.
Mr. Scipione,
Yes.
Mr. Mento.
Yes, motion carries. Motion's carried. Okay, guys. Again, we are having 2 meetings in one, so to speak. So that concluded our budget hearing portion of the meeting. We're now going to go into our normal April meeting. And with that, like we typically do, we will go into committee reports. I have some updates, and then I'll start off just so you guys have a heads up on my screen. I'll go Mr. Scipione, Mr. Antonassi, then Mr. Lyons, and so forth. Okay. I would just like to touch base on a few issues. I've heard some questions and concerns from the public, and most of those have been about either graduation or the prom. I've said it to several news organizations, and I'd like to reiterate, our number one priority is certainly to get our seniors the graduation ceremony they deserve, depending upon what the state allows us to do. We're hoping to have a ceremony. It might be limited in the amount of tickets we give out, where typically at the football field, it would be an unlimited amount of tickets given out. But this year we might have to limit that and practice social distancing. But even, I've jokingly said, if it's after blueberry season, we're going to get those kids the graduation ceremony they deserve. The second question I've heard, and I can say our number 2 priority would be the junior senior prom. Much to the chagrin of my daughter, who's a junior, she thinks that should be the first priority. But as you know, we had to cancel the prom back in May. And tentatively, we have a second date scheduled for June 5th. I reached out to my good friend and local Kevin Rodeo, who owns the Cathedral, Kevin Rodeo Spellcaster, and his facility there in town can hold 1,100 people standing. He also has a very large parking lot. I've reached out to the municipal government of the town, and they said they wouldn't have a problem letting us utilize the facility and the outside part. I know part of the deal with the Cathedral was he wasn't allowed to have many outside venues there, but for this one, they would make an exception. We're thinking about possibly, if we need to bring in a tent, but it's our hope to give those kids all the things that we all experienced as high schoolers and things that we certainly do look back fondly upon. Also, 8th grade graduation, although it won't be able to be held indoors in the gym, we're hoping to be able to get that ceremony in either in person or virtually. Trips, I've had many questions about the trips, whether it be the senior class trip or the junior class trip. We have the HS band and chorus. I am happy to say that with our timely decisions, we were able to cancel those and ensured our students a full refund. We're currently working on those refunds, and we're going to get them back to the public as soon as possible. So everyone, can rest assured that money will be refunded by the district as soon as possible. I'd also briefly like to acknowledge, really all of our teachers and faculty and staff, everyone who's done their job to a high level. We really do appreciate what you're doing. I mean, it is so important, educating our children in this time of distances. There have been teachers and staff who've gone above and beyond. And one I'd like to mention by name is Tia Santora. Back in end of April 24th, she delivered some 120 ear savers that she made with our 3D printer here at the school. For those of you who are unaware what an ear saver is, now with the type of medical mask everyone wearing, there's something that helps take away the abrasiveness in the back of the ear, and we were able to make those with our printer. So she delivered those to Atlantic Care and some of the senior facilities, and we're really happy to see someone. And Tia is not a person who looks for credit or anything, and she didn't go out there and she wasn't posting it when she did it. She just did it because she felt compelled. And they're the type of people we want to acknowledge and thank, and all those who've gone above and beyond in whatever capacity they could have. Also, when we're talking about acknowledgement and people who've done their job and done their job well or gone above and beyond, even if it might have been to the point where they put themselves at risk. I have to acknowledge, and really, I have a hard time verbalizing how much appreciation and gratitude and respect I have for our food service workers. I mean, those women, I could say women, they were all women, and that went above and beyond what, the call of duty would ask them to do. They were here, and I'll tell you, myself or Miss Prettyman or Miss Giecco could speak to it. We happened to go over there the first day after a brief meeting, and I can only liken it to Lucille Ball in the chocolate factory when we tried to jump in and help them package these lunches. Although we were trying to make an effort and help them, we were just in the way where one of them were doing more work and more efficiently than all three of us put together. And we just felt, I went out and helped with traffic, and I think Miss Prettyman and Miss Giecco just got out of the way as well because, we were slowing them down, if you can believe that. They did a great job. They went above and beyond. So to reflect that appreciation and gratitude, and again, you're talking about people who are 4.5, 5-hour employees, people who work without health care here at the district, and really some of our lowest paid people here. We decided as a board and all of our committees that we wanted to make them whole. We wanted to do a little bit more for them. So we decided to be able to give them up to a $1,000 bonus. Those who will receive the $1,000 are the workers who came every day, and that's quite a bit of them. And those who are unable to attend for whatever reasons, they would get a prorated amount. And we're very happy to be able to do that for our workers. Again, I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, I want to thank them for doing such a very important service, a needed service. Our numbers now are nearly 600 people a day we're serving. And when you're talking about serving, it's not just lunch. They're getting breakfast and lunch, and we're giving them 3-day increments. So you're talking, if you multiply that out, 2 times, that's 1,200 meals, three per package. That's 3,600 meals they're putting together at one day just to give to our people. And I want to encourage the public and the community, anyone with a student, with a minor, anyone under 18 years old in their household, they're eligible for these lunches. So please, now is not the time to be prideful. Come, get in line, take advantage of the resources. This is your town. we're all in this together. And if you need it, or if you know someone, please encourage them to come and take advantage of this. We're also talking about possibly continuing these meals in the summertime if we can. You know, we're all in this together, gang, and the Hammonton School District is definitely here for you. I would encourage all the parents, you know, I've taken questions or emails. You know, again, social media is typically not the answer. If you have an issue or a concern, please contact your student's teacher. If you're not happy with that, contact the building principal or reach out to our superintendent. Again, we're all trying to work this out. I believe in my heart that every day we get better, but we can still improve, and we're going to improve. And your input is very valuable to us. So please keep the lines of communication open with your student's teacher, and together, you know, hopefully we'll get all through this as painless as possible. And finally, what we're going to do with this meeting after we get through the committee reports, we will have a vote by unanimous consent on all the other items. So there'll just be one motion after this. That concludes my report for the president's report. And quickly, I'll touch on buildings and grounds. Our maintenance and staff has been working diligently. Once school closed, they went through and gave all our buildings and classrooms a deep cleanse and clean. We're all ready to go for when the governor gives us the okay to open the doors again. I know we are anxiously awaiting the 15th of May, when supposedly we'll have another decision on whether we can open this year or if it's going to be, you know, over for the 20 school year. And we're also talking amongst ourselves, and we're thinking about possibly editing our calendar, our school calendar for next year. I want to make everyone aware that if possible, we're going to reach out and we're going to talk to the HEA and devise a plan where we might get our kids back into school much earlier, try to get every day in. This too might help with that typical summer, what they call brain drain, being that these kids are at home already for a month and a half. If we can get them in early August, we're going to do that. We're going to do that if the governor allows us. That concludes my report. I'll now go to our community relations chairman, Mr. Scipione, followed by Mr. Antonassi. Mr. Scipione?
Thank you, Mr. Mento. Although our buildings are closed, our schools are still very active. As you mentioned, our food service department continues to provide boxed meals to school-age children on Mondays and Thursdays at the West Building from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Our staff has done an exceptional job fulfilling this important role. We would like to thank the Hammonton Education Foundation for providing a special lunch for our cafeteria staff today in recognition for their work and dedication. So that was really a great thing. Our professional staff continues to provide online encouragement with videos that have been shared on Facebook to deliver personal messages to our students. I encourage everyone to view these if you have not already. Our athletic department and athletes have also been active through the Tri-County Conference Athletes in Action. 25 lunches were donated to the Hammonton Police and 15 to the Waterford Police in recognition of our frontline heroes. Also, our Friday night lights were on display on April 20th to recognize the bright future of our class of 2020. Although this is not the senior year that was expected, we are all proud of their accomplishments. And I know that was spread on Facebook. They had 2020 everywhere on the scoreboard, and it was really nice. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, Mr. Scipione, for that very thorough report. We'll now go to Mr. Antonassi, followed by
No
Mr.
report,
Lyons.
no report.
Mr. Lyons, followed by Mrs. Burns.
I don't, excuse me, I don't have a report this evening, but I would just sort of echo everyone's comments and thanking the staff and the administration for stepping up during such a difficult time. It is hard on the students, and it's especially hard on the staff when they're at home, both in a lot of cases performing a dual role with their own family and worrying about their students. So again, I just echo thanks to the board and offer my own personal thanks to everyone who's stepping up during such a difficult time.
Thank you, Mr. Lyons. Mrs. Burns, followed by Ms. Polito. I think we lost Ms. Oh, she went off.
She's
Okay.
muted.
There I am. Okay.
Hi.
Yeah, the curriculum committee did meet by Zoom, and Superintendent Kieko informed us that there will be several new positions available come the fall. So I would encourage people to go to our website to see more details about which positions will be available. And at Hammonton School District is a great place to work. After 38 years, I can vouch for that. Also, I'd like to thank our staff for everything they've done, going above and beyond. But I also want to give some recognition to the parents who are homeschooling at this time and possibly working from home at the same time. So kudos to you. And that ends my report tonight.
Thank you. We'll now go to Ms. Polito, followed by Ms. Fallon.
Good evening. I don't have much of a report except for after everything gets a little more under control with what's going on, we will continue working on the signage on the road to excellence and continue when the students are back in school, we'll have the opportunity to have them enter the beautiful illustrations they were going to do for our mural, but that'll be something we have to revisit later. With that brief report, I do want to wish everyone the best. This is a difficult time. I'm sorry. I apologize. But I just want to wish everyone the best. It's been a tough time and everyone's been doing a really good job. I apologize.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Polito. And it has been tough. And I'll tell you, several times when I was speaking, I as well almost got choked up. So before I get emotional, I will pass it now to Ms. Fallon.
Okay, there's no official report from the negotiations committee, but I just want to say a huge thank you to our teachers and our staff and our students and their families for living this new reality and doing their best every day. Everyone has their own challenges and struggles, and we may not all be in the same boat, but we're all in the same storm. So that being said, we always say that, you know, and we mean it, the health and safety of our children is always our top priority. And the best practices of keeping our kids and our employees healthy and safe is now drastically different than what it was 2 months ago. So it's going to take a lot of creative solutions from federal, state, and local leaders. And I know I can speak for everyone virtually present tonight that we will all rise to the occasion. So thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Fallon. We'll now go to Mr. Palea, followed by Mr. Thomas.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have no official report tonight. I'd just like to echo what Ms. Fallon said. We are all in this together. As the curveballs get thrown, Hammonton rises to the top, and we will again. I'd like to thank all of our staff, our teachers, our workers, all the aides. They're, you know, helping the kids. To the 8th graders, this isn't the 8th or senior year, you guys. We're looking for, but we're going to do whatever we can for you guys once we get back in session. So, you know, we're all looking out for everybody, and I wish everybody to stay safe and healthy. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, Mr. Palea. Mr. Thomas from Folsom, please.
I would just like to reiterate the words patience. Patience for our spouses, patience for our children, patience for our public officials, and definitely patience for our government. And we're Americans. We're going to prevail. That's all I got.
Thank you. I know Ms. Kieko has a report for us. We'll now go to you.
I do have, are we in public comment yet? Or we're still in committee reports?
We're still doing committee reports.
Okay.
And I was going to turn it over to Ms. Kieko for her report.
Okay. I'd just like to take a moment to thank our dedicated and hardworking staff for adjusting to our virtual instruction as we follow the safety recommendations for the remaining at home. In addition to providing instruction, our staff has also been striving to maintain connections with their students and promote social emotional learning during this closure. Some examples include school-wide video messages, virtual birthday celebrations, spirit weeks, video read-alouds, and wellness recipes and activities. Finally, I would like to thank our parents for their support and tremendous efforts as they assist their children with assignments. It truly takes a village to raise our children. And I know I speak for everyone that we look forward to the day we can bring our teachers and our students back to our schools and classrooms. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Gecko. Okay, we'll now go to public comment. This is the first of 2 public comments. I see you have something to say, Ms. Prettyman?
I do. And did Mr. Pangia have a report?
Mr. Pangia,
I don't know if you guys can you guys hear me?
we
Yes.
can now. Hi, we can't see you, but we can certainly hear you. Do you care to
Oh,
give us
good.
an update from Waterford, Mr. Pangia?
Well, basically, Sam, we've just been going through all the same trials and tribulations over here that we've been going through down there. So same thing with cleaning of the buildings and giving out meals, and, you know, amazed by how well the staff has come together and how well the board has been able to operate under these trying conditions. I did want to just make one comment to all of you guys. And basically, it's just a tremendous thank you for what you've done for all of the kids from Waterford from 7 to 12, you know, making this almost impossible time, you know, manageable. And, you know, I could talk for the next hour and never really tell you how grateful I am for all the things that you've done. So I'm just very, very proud to be a member of this board and all the friends that I have there.
Thank you, Mr. Pangia. Okay, we'll now go to the public comment.
Okay.
This is the first of 2 opportunities from anyone wishing to be heard to speak to the board. Ms. Freeman, do you have something for us?
Yes.
Okay,
We heard from Melissa Castone from 672 Grape Street here in Hammonton, and she has a 3-part question. If schools close for the remainder of the year, 1, how long will food services continue? 2, how will special education students receive compensatory services if Achievement Academy is canceled? And 3, what options is the district willing to explore for the most vulnerable students and staff in the fall, meaning those that may be immunocompromised?
I'll take on the meals. Right now, it's our intent to continue to serve, whether school comes back or not. We're certainly going to go to that June 11th date. And we're discussing, we have discussed in committee and as a board about continuing the food service even throughout the summer. And, you know, so for now, you certainly can count on until June 11th. And with the proper finances and we do our job properly, we'll be able to feed those students all summer. I'll turn over the educational part to Ms. Gecko.
Right. I believe her question dealt with the compensatory education for the special ed students.
Yes.
Yes, we're working closely with the county office to make sure that we're following all their guidelines, and we realize that that's part of their IEPs and that this services have to be provided, and we'll go through the summer to provide those services to make sure that all the IEPs have been fulfilled. As far as, you know, keeping our students safe when we do return, we will be following all the safety guidelines. We will, I know we've actually purchased additional cleaning equipment, and we're trying to get in the queue to purchase additional things. So we're working behind the scenes to make sure that when we do open our schools, that the safety of our students will be our #1 priority.
Thank you. Ms. Prettyman, are there any other?
Okay, no other comments at this time.
Okay, so we will close the first portion of the regular meetings, public comment, and we'll now take items 5 through 54 in unanimous consent. Is there any discussion? Then all in favor, say by aye.
Aye.
Motion in a
Aye.
second.
You need a motion in a second.
Let's take a motion
Motion.
by Ms. Fallon, second by Ms. Polito. Now, we'll take a roll call. Go ahead.
Mr. Attanassi,
Yes.
Mrs. Bernardo,
Come back to her. It looks like she's having some technical difficulty. She reached forward and her camera went off.
okay. Mrs. Burns,
Yes.
Mrs. Fallon,
Yes.
Mr. Lyons.
Yes, with an abstention on 15.
I'm sorry, which number?
15, 1-5.
Thank you. Thank you. Mr. Pangia,
Yes, Barbara, I'll vote yes on all items that are pertinent to Waterford.
thank you. Mrs. Polito,
Yes.
Mr. Palea,
Yes.
Mr. Shipione,
Yes.
you, Mr. Mento,
Yes.
and Mrs. Bernardo, are you on now?
Yes, yes. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes,
we can.
thank you.
Okay.
Can you vote yes also for the motion?
Yes,
Vote-
that's
Okay, yes,
everyone.
okay. Motions carry unanimously. Okay, we'll now go to the public comment. Second opportunity for this April meeting for anyone from the public wishing to be heard. Speak to the board. Now is your opportunity. We'll wait for a minute before we close that. Maybe we'll get a phone call.
Mr. Mento, during this time, can I just clarify for the families that for the meals that we're serving, you do not have to previously have been approved for free or reduced lunch. This is for all children below 18. Whether you come to our school or you don't come to our school, you do not have to be approved for free and reduced lunch. You can simply participate in the program at no cost to you. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, any,
We may have a comment.
okay.
I'm sorry, no other comments? That was a little joke.
Okay. Okay, with that, then,
I called and made I said I adjourned the meeting. but
Yes,
that's-
it was from Mr. Shipione. And what is your address, please? No,
Yeah.
no, no.
PO Box 545.
okay. Okay, well, with that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn, please.
Motion.
Mr.
Second.
Antonassi, is there a second?
Second, Mrs. Burns.
Seconded by Mrs. Burns. All in favor?
Aye.
Bye.
Aye.
Meeting adjourned. And thank you once again to all the board members for your time and effort, and have a very safe month, and I'll see you all at committee meeting. Good night, Hammonton.
Night,
Good night.
night.
Be
Good night.
safe, safe and healthy.